Steady. Steady now. Welcome to the banks of the McKenzie River. I'm Tobin. Down here to my left is Luna. See some of her in the B-roll. We've been on a hike. Hail. No snow yet. They're calling for snow, but there's been some damn good hailstorms. It's currently just raining. I don't know how well you can see it out there on the lake, but I've done shaves from here before. Today is the 1-year anniversary of my first ever outdoor shave video. I started doing videos just before that from the house. I kind of got my feet wet in the house, and now I'm getting my feet wet outside. In that first shave video, I wasn't at this location. I wanted to be at the location I was at before, but with this weather, it just wasn't going to work. We were up on a mountain. I am using the same razor that I used in that, and is one of my absolute favorite modern razors, and that is the Shadow from Shave It Shave Co. That's a medium aggression aluminum razor. I have used for a scooper my solid piece of birch made by Wendell, aka Paps Shaves. When I get to know people by their first name and know them, well by their first name, sometimes I forget their usernames and what they, their like Instagram handles. But Wendell, Paps Shave, Mug, or something like that. That guy from the Carolinas. Today I'm shaving with Old School from Moon. And I don't have their splash yet, but I do have their balm. I've had this set for 2 years now, something like that. I absolutely loved it. Love it. I've got that scooped into my Captain's Choice bowl, and I'm going to be whipping it up with my MRed Tobin. I think it's a Manchurian. Killer knot. Absolutely love this knot. The Old School from Moon is their first ever shave soap. Somewhere around a decade that Melody, the artisan, had been creating cold press soaps. So that'd be like bath bars and that kind of thing, hand soap. Get a little bit more water here. Keep my warm water in my Oregon thermos. Just a splash. And her husband, Kent, a few years back, got into wet shaving, and he wanted to give shave soaps a go. And so with his wife's supervision, they set out to create their first soap. They now have a line of 6 or 8. They discontinued Sorrento. I currently have Sorrento, this Old School, Tobacco Flower, and then my newest is Astoria, and I want to get all their fragrances, including Union, Havana, Trade Winds. I think there's one more I don't have. Amaretto. I believe that's the whole line. The base on this is fantastic. It's called Old School, and it's Old School for a reason. Their first soap, they wanted to be very traditional, and that's exactly what we have, is an extremely traditional lather machine that is just so damn good for your skin with all that tallow, just copious amounts of tallow. And they do like everything themselves. They do their own labels, they render their own tallow. They try to do absolutely everything in-house when possible, and when possible they try to keep it organic and locally sourced as well. Old School has a beautiful fragrance, and just like Old School soaps, they weren't in your face when it comes to fragrance. They weren't strong where you wouldn't be able to smell somebody from a mile away. And this is in tradition with that. The scent, though, is absolutely amazing. Manly, masculine. You hear that rain? Tobacco, vetiver, leather, mahogany, and sweet vanilla. And that's it. But it all comes together to create a very masculine yet mellow accord. Loaded in my shadow, I have a first use Tatra Platinum. I love those blades. I think they're greatly underrated and overlooked. It's hard to gauge my lather coverage in this lighting and just using the cell phone. We ended up spending more time hiking than I had anticipated, but this soap is so slick that it shouldn't require too thick of a lather. You know, and I honestly think that a lot of times we apply too thick of a coat of lather, and that's actually counterproductive. We really don't need that thick of a lather on the face. It can be very, very thin. And so I think I'm going to do just fine. And that honestly, most of the time, I believe, myself included, that we have a layer of lather on our face that is thicker than what it needs to be. And I've seen artisans say the same thing. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Just think about oil slick. That oil slick doesn't have to be an inch thick for you to slip on it and eat the floor. They can just be microscopic and you're gonna take a spill, right? This fragrance, it's very complex and not so easy to break down, but I did the best with it that I could. Always nice and warm when I'm running around with Luna out here in this winter weather. It's probably about 40 degrees, maybe a little less than that right now. Look at that lather. Beautiful. I love all 4 of my soaps from Moon and cannot wait to complete my collection. The tobacco is, of course, a beautiful fragrance by itself. Something that many of us hobbyists have come to appreciate, that a lot of people outside of the hobby are unaware of. I know I was when I first started getting into this. And what I think that tobacco is doing in this fragrance is we have a sweet, earthy, and maybe even a bit of a powdery note, a powdery, like, woody note coming from it. I don't really detect any floral, and I'm judging this mostly off of the balm, not the soap. When I'm talking about scent notes, most of the time, guys, I am just referring to the post-shave product. And they do have new splashes. The only splash I have is the one for Astoria. All the other sets I have, I picked up before they started creating the splashes. The splashes, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, they came out mid last year, 2022, somewhere around there. Vetiver, there's 3 different types of vetiver that's commonly used in perfuming, and I don't know which one this is. What's commonly used is bourbon, Java, and then Haitian. And they can all bring a different fragrance. And vetiver is a type of grass, and almost always it's the root that is used. It's hard for me to say exactly. I believe this vetiver is imparting like a dry, woody, and the only word I can think of is smoky, but it doesn't smell smoky, not at all. There's like a dry, woody masculineness. I really want to get the splash of all my fragrances from them Sorrento is discontinued, so I won't be getting that one. But tobacco flower and this one I need to get. Next is the leather, and I think this is bringing a very slight animalic and warmness to it. This is a warm, soft, masculine fragrance. I believe the leather is playing a big part of that. The mahogany is bringing more of that woodiness to it. And this isn't your typical woody fragrance. This is really warm and masculine. Like I said, this one was hard for me to break down and put into words. But maybe a little bit of spice and just a deep, rich, warm, woody nuance coming from the middle of that bomb. And then the sweet vanilla sweetness, again rich, and then just creamy. I love this fragrance. I would love to have it in a EDP, even an EDT with slightly more projection for wearing it around. It's the kind of fragrance that it's hard for it to offend anyone when it comes to the balm and the soap anyways, just because it's so light. And because it is so light, just like in the old school way of doing things, is that it was done that way because a lot of times guys, they weren't big on matching stuff like we are today. They would wear a different fragrance than what they had shaved with. It wasn't a thing like today where we are always matching fragrances. And that's something I love to do. That I even like to do it with the deo, the bath products, the whole kit and caboodle. We're very spoiled. So fortunate. All the craziness that goes on in this world today, every single one of us are so fortunate to live in this era of the human existence. Might change my mind tomorrow, but what's super cool about what Melody and Kent are doing, you see that there? That's Luna. She bit me the other day. We were roughhousing. I was asking for it. I was biting her. We were having a good time. Huh, baby? She's pooped out, laying down right here. See how much longer that lasts. But all of their products are loaded down with skin foods. This balm, for example, you have the green tea extract. Just do a couple of quick cleanups here. And green tea is an antioxidant. The squalene oil, that one I actually just learned about as I was getting ready for this video. Maybe I'd seen it before. Some of these things I have to learn a couple of times for it to actually stick in the old man memory bank. Great residual slickness. If you want to truly shave like Grandpa, this is it right here. Kent and Melody nailed it. If you look at the ingredient label, everything about this soap, right down to the fragrance, is old school. You want to shave like Grandpa? Right there. That is how, this is the kind of base and the kind of fragrance that men were shaving with way before traditional wet shaving was hip and cool, back when it was just shaving. Squalene oil is actually produced by the human body. It can be found throughout most of the body, including the bloodstream, the liver. And after the age of 30, it starts slowing down the production of it. And it's really good for moisturizing our skin, anti-aging, and even helps with acne. Another cool ingredient found in the balm, marshmallow root extract. Give this stuff a good shake too before you use it. It helps with inflammation and healing of the skin. Pull this down over my ears. Aloe vera. A lot of us are familiar with aloe vera. Anti-inflammatory, humectant. Humectant helps lock in moisture. And then another one that I think is really cool. There's a couple other ones too if you go and you look at the sales page. But the sea buckthorn is an omega fatty acid. They're full of omega fatty acids, vitamins A and E. And it also helps to heal the skin. One of the best post-shave feels I've ever experienced is with this stuff. I used it yesterday in preparation for this video. I hadn't used it in a while. And between the soap, and all that tallow, and everything else that they have in it, to this killer, it's just skin food rich balm. You can see my scoop in there on the outer edges. Amazing post-shave feel. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Also be happy to send you a little sample of it. If you live in the States, and send Wendell a sample of it. Let's put like in between some wax paper and throw it in an envelope and send it out to you. Good stuff, Maynard. Damn good stuff. I want to thank everyone that's been watching my videos the last year or so. Just got a bunch of water down my back. I appreciate you guys. I've been having a ton of fun. You know, I've always been big into hiking and getting outdoors regardless of the weather. The weather doesn't faze me. Especially when I'm out and I'm moving. I stay warm, you know, and I dress for it. But when I stop to shave and put the, you know, wetness on my face, that changes the game a little bit. But taking two things that I truly enjoy, hiking and shaving, and putting them together, and you know, just enjoying the outdoors. I absolutely love it, and I think it's cooler than hell that some of you, or you know, all of you who have been watching, you know, have gotten something out of what I'm doing. And that's exactly my goal, is to, like I've said before, and I'm going to continue to say it, take you out of your world, bring you into my world, and hopefully in doing so you forget about whatever's going on in your neck of the woods. And it's the little big things, getting out here in the woods on a rainy day with just me and my German Shepherd. You'll see some of that in the B-roll. It wasn't raining when we were hiking. We had some hail when we first got started, but the footage that you'll see, it's nice and dry. Seriously, thank you. It's only shaving. I can't believe a year's flown by. Look for some giveaways. And We Shave. We Shave's coming back this weekend, Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Smiles for Miles. Smiley is joining me, and we're gonna get our shave on. Yeah, I have some links in the description to my first outdoor shave, and then I'll have another link in the description to my other moon soap review, and that was tobacco flower. Yeah, thank you. Ramble, bamble. Y'all have a good week. Seriously, thank you. Y'all take care. Hi. You're a good girl. Low bridge. Hello. stay up here. Hey. This way. Good girl. Good girl. This way. Hi. I love you too. Ready? I love you. Thanks for joining us. Y'all take care. I gotta drive this highway now. Woohoo!